are limiting ourselves based on our interpretation of what it means to push. So we go, every time I strain, I end up doing something similar. Like you might push when you strain, and you might push when you get this optimal tone in your third bridge, let's say. And then you go, wow, the pushing feels kind of similar, and I know it's wrong in this context, so it must be wrong in this context. Except that the outcome is completely different. Right?
Yeah.
And so this idea of results-based coaching rather than rules-based coaching, when it's a rule, you go, don't push. I just learned a rule. Every time I push, I strain, so don't push. And then what you end up doing is limiting yourself from actually achieving your full potential in an area of your voice that is kind of unfamiliar. But now we're getting into your third bridge, and we're really trying to strengthen your head voice and stretch this range and open up this part in your high mix. And it requires that you have that sensation of pushing, even though somebody else may not experience it in the same way, and even though pushing in the way that you might when you were straining, you're pushing in, at least according to your perception, you're pushing in a way that's similar to what you do when you end up straining in your lower part of your voice. It actually has a completely different outcome here. And that's just because there's so many different variables and so many different complications when it comes to singing and in different areas of our voice. Ultimately, what ends up happening is if you just make a rule out of identifying and optimizing your tone anytime. So you identify your optimal tone and you make a habit out of achieving that optimal tone on every single note, every time you use your voice. What ends up happening over time is the thing that becomes normal and the thing that feels consistent is finding your optimal tone on every single note, regardless of what it takes in order to accomplish that.